Hello everyone and welcome to this video. It has been a while since I had this idea in my mind for a little more than about a month now, I guess. But either way, we're back once again with the Intel Compaq. So it's basically the Compaq Presario 7000 with an Intel processor. No real explanations there. But today we're going to be doing something, this Intel Compaq, in preparation for something that I'm going to be doing later on in another video or something like that. But we're going to be reinstalling Windows 98 2nd edition, obviously, since, you know, I kind of did some rejiggling with pretty much everything as far as, you know, the rearrangement of the stuff on the hard drives or something. But anyways, we're going to be reinstalling it today. No, I don't want to. I'll check that later. Don't check for updates, because I am going to be reinstalling it. But anyways, here's my recorded copy of Windows 98 2nd edition. It is scratched a bit, but it's okay. Let's go ahead and insert it into the disk drive. Topmost one. And we're going to be rebooting ourselves. So, shut down, restart. And I just rebooted once it did once I shut down, obviously. But anyways, we're gonna go into here and let's take a look at it for ourselves. So Windows 98 CD-ROM startup menu. Now normally you only get this on bootable floppy disks, you know, like a startup disk that you created or something. So select start from CD-ROM, and here's are the three options that we got. Start Windows 98 setup from CD-ROM, start computer with CD-ROM support, or start computer without CD-ROM support. Now, I think for most novice users, or pretty much everyone else, they would choose number one. But since we're not going to be doing that, we're going to be starting up the computer with CD-ROM support. And I will only choose number 3 if the hard drive is new, corrupted, or is not formatted or something. So I would probably use F disk for that thing. But here we are. Let's go ahead and go to D drives. Now this is the mode, because I'm kind of experienced with this stuff since I've seen a couple of YouTube videos before, but of people doing stuff like this. So let's go to Win98 and let's take a look at the directory. So that's pretty much everything in that folder. So let's see what we can do here. So this is everything in my C drive that I'm going to be pretty much reformatting. So let's go ahead and type in format C:/S/Q. So /S makes the drive bootable, and /Q does the quick format. We do quick formatting just to save time. So all data, warning, all data on non-removable disk drive C will be lost. Proceed with format? Yes. You know, I don't need to worry about all my stuff being lost because I already backed up the data beforehand, which has been a while. So I'll type in Windows 98. So C:, and we'll make directories. So we'll make a directory by typing md Windows, and then I'll go ahead and follow it up by typing options afterwards, and then after that we do tabs, and then we'll go ahead and follow that. Now the reason why we're doing this is because well, if the Windows 98 needs files from the CD-ROM, it already knows where to look for. And also, this is usually the directories where OEMs typically store setup files and stuff for Windows 98, obviously. You know, so let's go ahead and copy d:/Win98/star.star. You could leave out the /star.star if you want to, but we're just gonna do it this way. So it's copying all the files. I'll skip All right, and now that's done. 101 files copied. 101 files copied. So now we don't need the Windows 98 OEM disk anymore. You know, the recorded copy of that. So I'm going to take that out, reset by hitting Control-Delete, and we should boot into the Windows 98 command prompt in a moment. There we go. And we'll do CD Windows Options Tabs. And now we'll type in setup. We could do it this way, or we can do it without using ScanDisk, without running ScanDisk. So to run setup without running ScanDisk, you need to put /is. That will bypass the ScanDisk stuff. So let's do that. And here we go. We're getting into the Windows 98 setup. And this is probably the first time that I've shown this process, here on this channel, obviously. So, Windows 98 setup. Welcome to Windows 98 setup. Congratulations on choosing Windows 98, the software that makes your computer more powerful, reliable, manageable, and entertaining. With Windows 98, you can connect to the internet quickly and easily. And Windows 98 is even easier to use than Windows 95. Setup will take from 30 to 60 minutes, depending on the speed of your computer. To begin setup, click Continue. Okay, let's see. Let's take a look at for ourselves to see what setup has to offer. Just listen to those floppy seek sounds, though. Now, here is where our first problem is. So it's wanting to create Windows. It's wanting to set up Windows in the Windows.000 directory. We don't want that because it's just gonna make a new directory, and it's pretty much, it's very untidy pretty much. So let's choose other directory and delete the .000. Caution, the directory C:\Windows already exists. If you continue, files in this directory may be overwritten. Do you want to continue with the specified directory? Yes, because that's what we want. So preparing directory. Please wait while setup prepares your Windows directory, etc., etc., etc. And it's checking for available disk space. I have plenty of disk space. Setup options. So we got typical, portable, compact, and custom. So I think, as what this says, this option is recommended for most computers, a typical, but we're gonna do custom because why not? Because we want all the features. So accessibility, accessories, you want every single accessories. As for communications, why not Hyperterminal and Chat 2.5? Why not? And they have VPNs back then, but it's not the VPNs that we know of now. And desktop themes, that's kind of like a carryover of Windows 95 Plus, Microsoft Plus, Windows 95, multi-language support, and multimedia. We definitely want the sample sounds. The sample sounds gives us all the full sound scheme set. And system tools, we'll get all of them. And web TV for Windows, we can skip that because we don't need that. Okay, computer name, work group, we can just leave everything as is. Next, establish location, and it'll say create a startup disk. If you had trouble starting Windows 98 or 98 setup, you can use the startup disk to restart your computer or run diagnostic programs. We'll not create one for now, so we'll click cancel. And then it's going to start copying the files. So I got my stopwatch ready so that you guys won't have to sit through all this. So here we go, click next. And my stopwatch has started. Welcome to Microsoft Windows 98. So throughout the whole process of this part of the setup and for the rest of Windows 98 setup, there's these little blurbs that talk about what Windows 98 has to offer, pretty much. So, Windows just got better. So, like that, for example, pretty much. So, yeah, so I'm pretty much just gonna skip through all this, and we're gonna be back once it finishes this part of setup, obviously. So we'll be right back, ladies and gentlemen. breaking in here. Normally, when you install it from the CD-ROM, it takes a little bit longer. But since we moved all the files, we copied all the files from the CD-ROM to the hard drive, it should go a lot faster, pretty much. You know, because that's how I usually go for installing Windows 98. You know, on VM, whether it's not on VMs, you know, virtual machines, or on real hardware, like my Intel Compaq here. Faster performance. Windows 98 helps you get top-notch performance without adding new hardware. Programs start and run faster. On Now Power Management feature. That's what it's known as. Gain extra disk space by converting your hard disk to the FAT32 file system. It also supports large capacity drives. That is one of the things that was introduced with Windows 98 is FAT32. So unlike the former FAT16 offered on Windows 95 and earlier, which that version of FAT16 was made by Compaq, interestingly enough. Okay, increased dependability. Yeah, but yeah, anyways, FAT32 offers, you know, significant improvements over FAT16, obviously. More entertaining by converging real-time 2D and 3D graphics, digital video, audio, and internet. It redefines the role of the computer as an entertainment platform. Better games. So DirectX capabilities, digital audio, etc., etc. DirectX provides the fastest performance and audio, etc. Supports new hardware. Windows 98 supports more than 1,000 new printers, modems, monitors, network adapters, and other hardware devices. More accessible, and yeah. You know, because this is Windows 98 second edition, right? So Windows 98 first edition, that's what everybody calls it, was the original release of Windows 98 back in 1998. You know, more appropriately fitting. Windows 98 first edition did have its fair share of problems. Some people viewed it as not being the most stable release of Windows since Windows 95, but 98 second edition aimed to alleviate or resolve some of those issues. But anyways, now it's going to restart a computer for us. Setup needs to restart your computer. Your computer will automatically restart in 15 seconds or when you click Restart Now, which it we left it as that, so I didn't have to press Restart Now, so it's going to attempt to restart for us. So that took like 4 minutes from that part. And let's take a look at the boot screen. Getting ready to run Windows for the first time. So this is what the first startup of the Windows 98 boot screen looks like. Okay. And so here we are. Setup is starting your computer. Setup is starting your computer. Now that's a message that you don't usually see nowadays because that usually goes by so fast. Anyways, we're gonna type in our user info, so our name and company. So type in my name, my company name. License agreement, we can just read over this fairly quickly. We accept. And the product keys. So I'm going to pause the video here and I'll get back to you in a bit. Alright, and we've saved all, Windows 98 saved all information. Click Finish to continue starting Windows 98. So, restart my stopwatch. Let's see how long that takes. Windows 98 is now setting up your hardware and any plug-and-play devices you may have. Alright, now it's detecting non-plug-and-play hardware in the computer. And it says, caution, this may take a few minutes and may cause your computer to stop responding. If the progress indicator stops for a long time and there is no disk activity, please restart your computer. Well, that will go by fairly quick. So, Windows 98 is now setting up your hardware and any plug-and-play devices you may have. I know I've already said that before, but just thought it would be worth it to mention again. Okay, so now we're at the final stages of setup. So time zone, everything, the clock should be correct. So, it's 4:07. So this one's about a few minutes ahead, but I'll go ahead and fix that later. But I don't need to change the time zones and whatnot because I already live near that area. And you can see in a moment ago on the control panel it says Windows is now setting up control panel, which you can use to change settings for your computer. I think that's what it says. So now it's setting up the program groups, as it's called, on the start menu, obviously. So, you know, in the program manager for Windows 3.x, it had something called program groups. So, and obviously with Windows 95 and later, we just got, you know, like program folders, I would say. But yeah. So this part usually takes a little while, obviously, setting up the programs on the start menu. So I will pause here for a bit. Wow, that took a long while. The setting up programs on the start menu took a long while. And now we go into everyone's favorite, the drums. Updating system settings. Just look at that icon right there. You know, that icon was eventually reused for a animated cursor, obviously. You know, included with, I think, Windows 2000 up to Vista, I guess. Maybe 98 too, because I think it probably has that cursor. I am not too sure, but you know, you get what I mean. But this sure was everyone's favorite, especially those that really liked, you know, I really liked Windows 98, and those getting into retro computing, you know, will know that for sure. I mean, this was kind of fun to, you know, look at, or I mean, the drums there, you know, it's kind of like anticipating, oh, drum roll, like something special is going to happen, you know. Something like that. So 6 minutes remaining, and then it's going to 5 minutes remaining, and then it's going to 4 minutes remaining, and then it's going to 3, 2, 1, less than a minute. That's what it's going to go under estimated time remaining. So it's almost done here. Updating system settings. Windows 98 setup is now configuring your system software. It's what it reads down there. And then it should read less than a minute. At any moment, 1 minute, then it'd say less than a minute. Still updating system settings. I mean, it's still got a few more system settings to update. Windows is now setting up the following items: time zone control panel. Yep, there we go. Less than a minute. All right. Setup needs to restart your computer to continue. Your computer will automatically restart in 15 seconds or when you click restart now. We'll click restart now, hitting enter on the keyboard. Windows is shutting down, so we got to see the Windows 98 shutdown screen for once. And then this is our final reboot, so we're going to see the Windows 98 desktop in a moment. You know, as a little side note here, I think, you know, as far as using this this new camera app that I just like downloaded, and you know, it's called, yeah, it's Yamera, but like you know, it's like this little extension to the camera feature, the camera app on this iPhone that I have, you know, just to adjust the ISO stuff, you know. ISO and the refresh rate, you know, the shutter speeds. That's what I mainly use it for. So that way we don't get the you know, the very, very stroby effects on the boot screen. So that's how I was able to do it. Type a name to identify yourself to Windows. Enter a password if you want to. Tip: if you don't enter a password, you won't get this prompt again at startup. So you know what? Let's just go ahead and not type in the password for now. We'll just go ahead and do that. Click OK. Compaq MV740, so it has detected the hardware. Detects as a plug and play monitor. So let's go ahead. Please wait while Windows searches for a new driver for this device. And then it will automatically detect, it will automatically install our driver because we already have, stuff in. I do have 2 floppy drives on this system now, so yeah, because I added that like a few months back. So yep, it's already found our stuff, found our drivers. Now obviously we don't have any sound drivers because Windows 98 by default upon a fresh install, it doesn't have sound drivers for this particular PCI sound card, which is a Sound Blaster 128 type card, which is, it's great for everything else but not great for DOS gaming. I gotta tell you that. Okay, so we got Welcome to Windows 98 thing. Now it usually starts up with that music, but since we don't have sound drivers, it's just silent. And also that looks better with the colors set up, but yeah, this is the pretty plain basic install of Windows 98 as it is. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of Windows 98 reinstalling. Obviously now I'm gonna go ahead and reinstall all the drivers and stuff off camera, but I am going to be doing something to this one. It'll probably be in the next video when it comes. But yeah, thank you guys for watching this video, and I hope to see you on the next one. See ya.